He was an amazing role model for everyone around him, adult or kid. It didn't matter how old you were, he was a role model.
I didn't see him as just a principal. He was someone that I knew that, cared about me.
He was not one to just sit in his office. He was always out and about checking on students, and he would get to know your name, and he made you feel like you were important, that you mattered.
As a dad, he was funny, very caring, the most amazing dad, the most amazing pawpaw. We always knew that he was our dad and that if we needed him, he would come running. I'm Latoya Pierre, and my father is Dr. Bill R. Johnson. He served many roles here in Crowley ISD, from Executive Director of Student Services, Deputy Superintendent, Assistant Superintendent, Principal of Sycamore Elementary, and Principal of Crowley High School. My father was an amazing man. He was ruled and guided by his faith. He guided in grace and love and care. He taught me to be who I am. He is the reason why I teach, the reason why I am the mom that I am, the reason why I'm the educator that I am. He's the reason why I am me. This building is amazing. First, I wish I could have come here, but my dad would be so impressed with all of the rooms that kids can come and learn in and physically touch the pieces that they're supposed to be gaining their knowledge from, the plane that's hanging. Who gets a plane in a building that's named after them? Nobody. No, he would be honored to have a school like this, to this magnitude, that is something that is encouraging students to move forward, whether it be with a college degree or just technical skills that will help them start their own businesses. Super impressive. That's what he was all about. When I think about him as an educator, he tried to make his students feel like they were part of his family. I'm talking to people and I see all the things that he's done and the lives that he's changed and the lives that he's saved just from being him. I can guarantee you, he never woke up in the morning and thought, okay, what are some things I can do today so that people will acknowledge me? He was just being Bill R. Johnson, or as Timpson, Texas would call him, Billy Ray.
Mr. Johnson he was a mentor. He was, in many ways, like a big brother, someone that I could look up to, someone that I could talk to about anything. We talked a lot about family. We talked a lot about our history and our background. We talked a lot about our relationship with Jesus Christ. He was a minister, and he ministered not only to me, but to a lot of people that I knew, though almost everyone around him. He really wanted to see people grow to be their best.
Truly, if it weren't for him, I never in a million years would have thought I'd work on a campus. But because of him, I realized that's what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to be working, whether it's on a campus, at admin, whatever, but working for a school district. And it's simply because he just believed in me and said, no, you can do better, you can do more.
I did not have the example of college being a career path in my home. So seeing a strong Black man in that position was very motivating for me, because it gave me a sense of knowing that it was possible for me to accomplish the things that I wanted to accomplish too. Since I can remember, I've always wanted to be an educator.
You know, I was racking up truancy letters to the point they could wallpaper my parents' house, but no one seemed to really want to get to the bottom of what was going on. One day I ended up in Dr. Johnson's office. He never got angry, never raised his voice. He just looked at me and said, you know, I'll sit here all day. He's like, you're my priority. So if I have to sit here, that's just what we're gonna do. And I just remember sitting there like giving him these, you know, horrible looks. And eventually just something in his face kind of like broke me, but in a good way, because then I started crying and I opened up to him and I told him to a point what had happened, what was going on in my life. And he promised to get me help, and he did. He literally saved my life. If he hadn't decided that I was worth a few minutes, a few hours, whatever, of his time, I don't know that I would have made it out of CHS alive, especially the way I was going.
He meant a lot to me because Mr. Johnson didn't just see us as, you know, students in his school. We were all individual people. He tried to get to know us. Unfortunately, the class of 99 at Crowley, you know, we lost a few people, you know, that died before, you know, who weren't able to graduate. And one of the biggest things that stuck out to me was at graduation. I had a friend who died, I guess, our sophomore year. And he made a point to leave a seat for my friend at graduation, and he didn't have to do that. I still see my friend's parents every time when I get back in town, and they always talk about that, and that's a special thing for someone to do, because it had been almost 2.5 years since this person, you know, had died. But he always made it a point to, you know, keep in touch with their family and make sure, you know, that their son wasn't forgotten.
At the hospital, he had an opportunity to see one of his former students. And how ironic is that? That in a moment of some of this devastation, in the moment of some of the crazy, you get to pause and hear from a student that you blessed decades ago.
I am a nurse, and I had the pleasure of having Mr. Johnson as a patient. And during some of his testing, I had the opportunity to thank him and apologize for the terrible things that were said to him, but again, thank him for still standing his ground and helping us and saving us and protecting us when he didn't have to. Thanking him and apologizing was something that as an adult, I had always, that was something I always wanted to do.
So when I think of in terms of his legacy, that was it. That anywhere he went, whether it be Home Depot, whether it was going to one of his favorite restaurants, or even going to the hospital, even the students that worked on him and made sure that he had the best care, he had a hand in who they became. Who gets to say that? That is his legacy. His legacy is walking around, taking care of all of us every day. He is living and breathing every day.
Don't ever be discouraged. Don't ever quit. One of the things that I remember as a young man, somewhere studying lit back in high school, and I got onto one of the quotes from one of my favorite people, Emerson, and it was saying that go where no path leads. Go where there's no path and leave a trail. And I'm thankful today that I believe that I've left a trail. I hope it's clear. But what I would say to the young people, to the staff, to the students here at BRJ, and to the students and staff in the Crowley Independent School District, every one of you have an opportunity to leave a trail. Blaze a trail that someone will want to follow. Make sure that you have signs and markers that ensure your success. And if you do that, we will continue to make this a great district, a great state, and a great nation.